It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Bit of a sad moment. We've come to the end of the beers that Lee W was kind enough to send down from Leeds. It was the Wilde Brewery range. This is Seasonal Extravagance, and this is a Christmas pudding red IPA. 5% ABV, 440 milliliter can. I'm reviewing it in March because I didn't get it until late February, and do you know what? Why not? Why not? It should be still very, very good. Let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. So I want to say a massive thank you to Lee W from Leeds for sending us the beer. They've been terrific. The beers have been really quite wonderful, these Wild Child beers. Completely changed my whole thought process, my whole idea of this very brewery. If you've been watching these videos, you'll probably know by now the reason, but I might touch on it later on. Perhaps now I've talked about it, I need to touch on it. But a Christmas pudding red IPA at 5% ABV. You want to see the haze, that last little bit of sediment that made its way into that glass. Completely changed the look of the beer. We got a one finger quite tight, slightly off-white head. Lovely and hazy. Very dark. They've called it a red ale, but I'm going to say it's a little bit darker than a red ale. I'm going to say this is heading towards... It looks like a dark mild to me. Looks like a dark mild. Look at that quality of the beer though as you roll it around in the glass. Fabulous body. Let's get the aroma. Wow. It's funny, isn't it? Probably, I don't know if you're like me, but I'm still getting through the little remnants of Christmas in March. Still eating a couple of peanuts that have been left over from Christmas. We're still eating the box of Victoria biscuits that we bought, because you overbuy, don't you, at Christmas? So we're just getting Christmas out of our minds here. We buy so much food at Christmas time, but it lasts us most of the winter. But sticking my nose into this, I really don't mind going back to Christmas, because wow, that is like figgy pudding, like figs and ginger, spices, lemon. There's an aroma in here, like a licorice or something, that I'm not quite nailing. I'm not, like, it's either orange peel, figs and plums and... But I'm going to kick myself. When I read what that flavour is, I'm going to go, that's exactly what it is. It's like a ginger or something. Lemon and ginger maybe. That's my guess, but it smells like it's like turmeric or something like that. Winter spices. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, that is full on. I haven't had a beer like this since I was in Norway. I had a tremendous beer in Norway that was doing exactly the same as this. Is lemon and spices and peppers and... That's beautiful. The quality on that beer, the depth on that beer, the amount that's going on in that beer, the peppers, the spices. Do you know, it might be a chili. Might be some kind of very low strength chili or something in here. The body is creamy and rich, nutty and biscuity with a lovely sweetness. It's pretty tremendous. This is another tremendous beer from Wild Child. I might as well touch on it very quickly, hadn't I? Now I've given you a lot of what I think the flavours are in this beer. I won't touch on it too quickly because I've done it so many times with the Wild Child beers. I had one Wild Child beer from Morrison's, my first ever Wild Child beer, and I really didn't like it at all. And when you have a beer from a brewery, and it was my first Wild Child beer, when you have a beer from a brewery and then you don't like it, you kind of like, your brain goes, I'm going to step away from that, you know. I'm not. So I didn't write them off, but I wasn't overly enthusiastic to kind of like visit their website and order beers at the same time. But Lee W did for me, bought me some beers and he sent them down, and they have been fabulous. Every single beer. I've had about 6 or 7 beers from Lee W and they have been incredible, including this one. They've all been so good. And it just shows in life, give something a second chance, isn't it? Give something a second chance in life. Give things a go. Don't write things off. And especially being a beer reviewer, you can't write off a brewery after one beer. What's the matter with me? Loving the bitterness on the back end of this beer as well. I'm really intrigued as to find out what that flavour is. I'm definitely going to go, ugh. Another indulgent Yuletide offering comes in the form of a red IPA with notes of burnt fruit, citrus zest and brown sugar. The colour itself is reminiscent of a roaring open fire whilst you gorge yourself on cheese and other fatty delights. Certainly a beer you'll want to hunker down with whilst you warm the cockles of your heart. Now, as much as I love that and I love the thought of that, again, you guys probably go through your own winters, but by March, I've completely had enough of winter. I don't know about you guys, but this morning, actually, waking up this morning, it was light and the sun was trying to come through at 6:30 in the morning. It's the first time I opened my eyes, because I'm an early riser, I'm always up 6, half 6 naturally. I opened my eyes and it was bright and I thought, ooh, spring. As soon as I opened my eyes, I thought, oh, it's light, it's spring. What a refreshing change from it being pitch black and dark. So, as much as I love the sound of this and sitting by a roaring fire, I've been doing that now for 3 months and I cannot wait for spring. I really cannot wait for spring. I'm quite excited for spring, actually. Looking forward to getting into it. But I'm sure if I had this beer next November, next December, I would definitely light one of my fires and sit by it with one of these beers. I probably will have to do it anyway, because I think good old Mr. Putin's about to turn our gas off. Anyway, I never get political. I'm not political minded. That was a joke. Don't send anybody. Don't follow me around with men with umbrellas behind me. Don't you know? Leave me alone, type of thing. It was a joke. It's good to have a joke, isn't it? Anyway, this is fabulous. Orange peel, lemon. I'm surprised by the. I'm pretty sure there's all sorts of different peppers and gingers and all sorts in this beer. It tastes that way, but they've just said citrus zest, burnt fruit, and brown sugar. Anyway, rating for this beer then. It looks good. Look as I rock the beer back and forth. Look at that. It smells good. Tastes wonderful. I like that. I like that enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.